And just like that, I quadrupled my investment. In this guide, I've got another prospecting farm that's really good. This one is thorium ore, and here we're looking for Azerothian diamonds. But the good thing about thorium ore is that almost all of the outcomes are profitable. Compared to serenite or tin, most of the prospects are going to at least break even, and these sell pretty quickly because of people leveling jewel crafting. So I've got 650 ores here, and I'm just going to prospect them all and then show you the results. I do this farm completely on the auction house. I've never mined a thorium ore in the entirety of Wrath. Something to keep in mind is the price of thorium. You can get it pretty cheap compared to market value sometimes whenever a big dump of it gets posted on the auction house, because it doesn't move very quickly. So if one person dumps a lot on the auction house for a cheap price, it will probably stay in place for at least long enough for another person to start posting more at that price, and you'll have a chance to buy up a lot of thorium for a relatively cheap price every once in a while. And that's the best time to do this farm, because you also have to keep in mind that, at least on my realm, I've noticed that the gems fluctuate in price a lot. The Azerothian diamonds especially, which are the main gold makers here, go from sometimes highs of 20 gold per on my server to lows of 3 to 4 gold. But they always eventually return to the highs, or in the range of the 16 to 20 gold zone where I feel comfortable selling them. And these prices are going to fluctuate based on your realm. But I assume that just because of the relative obscurity of old world mats, that it's pretty universal that these items will fluctuate. So just keep in mind that you probably don't want to post your gems if there's already a big quantity on the auction house. Just wait until they get bought up and the price starts to go back up, and that's when you can dump your stock. And the inverse is true for thorium. You want to be buying it when there's a lot on the auction house for a cheap price, and you probably don't want to be buying when there's low quantity on the auction house. These gems do sell because a lot of people are leveling jewel crafting for raiding, because it's a best in slot profession, but the prices are very variable. In the description I'll have a link to TSM where you can see the market value of thorium ore as well as the prospect value of thorium ore. So it'll tell you roughly what the price of gems are based on the prospect value, and if the thorium ore is cheap or high compared to regular market value. I highly recommend TSM, not only because of the data it gives you, but also because of TSM Destroy, which just makes it super convenient. It turns it in just one button. I'll also have a link to JP Workin and Nexus Hub, which are websites that show the historical value of items, which you can use to track the value of gems and thorium ore across your server. So I'm just gonna fast forward through the rest of this prospecting, but I'm also gonna go over some pros and cons to the farm compared to the other ores. One con to the farm is that it's a weird level of jewel crafting, so it's not very accessible to players on a new realm if you're like on a level 20 character or something, but for max level players that shouldn't be a problem. The other con, as I've already gone over, is the fluctuation of prices. This takes a lot of sitting and waiting. You can't really turn around and flip your prospects immediately like you can with Serenite. But pros to this is that there's not many people doing this, at least on my realm, and I'm playing on Fairlina, which is a super populated realm. And the other pro to this compared to Serenite and other ores, especially the low level ores, is that we're not just focusing on one item, because although we're focusing mainly on Azerothian diamonds, Blue Sapphire is the only one I take a loss on, Star Rubies I break even on, and then the Jades and Opals I make a small profit on. So it's really just a matter of how long do I want to AFK and how much thorium is there on the auction house. So here goes the last prospect, and I'll get the totals. 51 jades, 44 opals, 37 Azerothian diamonds, 12 rubies, and 45 sapphires. And that's from 645 ores. I've also got another clip of me doing this again with another batch of thorium, and I'll speed through that and get the totals of that one. So here I've got 940 thorium ores, and I'm just going to skip over to the final prospect and we'll get our totals. So from a total of 940 thorium ores, I got a total of 54 diamonds, 61 opals, 77 emeralds, 28 rubies, 57 sapphires. If this video was at all helpful to you, I'd appreciate it very much if you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And check out my other gold guide videos on prospecting ores to make money.